Hello everyone, my name is Jimmy and welcome to The Last Lap. In today's video we're going to be breaking down everything that happened from Atlanta Motor Speedway this weekend for the NASCAR Cup Series. But before we go ahead and hop into it, just want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button and that like button. We would greatly appreciate it. If you do so, we also have social media pages at The Last Lap News that you can follow us on. But let's go ahead and hop straight into it. As always, I have to introduce my friend and co-host Matthew joining me on the show, and if you all can't tell, based on what I'm wearing, based on the smile on my face, y'all already know what happened today in Atlanta. Chase Elliott did end up getting the victory today. Matthew, on the other hand, as you can probably see by his face, he's not too amused, but Matthew, go ahead and say hello to everybody watching before we go and hop into this beautiful episode we're going to have today.
Well, I probably should have worn my Coil of Joy gear before we got started here, because that's like the real winner to me, in my opinion. So we'll get to that shortly. But yeah, good day, yay!
All right, so we'll go ahead and hop straight into the Cup Series. We'll go ahead and hop straight into the Cup Series race. Just a quick shout out to Parker Kligerman for winning the Truck Series race at Mid-Ohio. That was really cool to see, so congratulations to him for getting that done at Mid-Ohio. And Austin Hill ended up winning the Xfinity race, so congratulations to him as well. But we're going to go ahead and hop straight into the Cup Series recap, because that's what we want to talk about. There's a lot of stuff to break down from the Cup race today. So, Chase Elliott started off, he was on the pole today. He ended up winning both of the stages, which was great for both the 2 playoff points that he got and for the 20 regular season points that he got, because he is going for the regular season championship against Ryan Blaney and a few other drivers. Towards the end of stage 2, Alex Bowman blew a tire. Matthew's on a different level tonight, so if he interrupts me, or if he he's on a different vibe tonight, so just warning you guys. But
it's your turn.
Anyway, where's my Skip Bayless when I need it? But anyways, so coming to the end of stage 2, Alex Bowman ended up blowing a tire. That was the only incident besides this other incident that I'll talk about in a minute. That was the only incident besides this other one that happened in the first 2 stages, but it was a very racy Atlanta Motor Speedway. People were a little bit skeptical going into the race today based off the Xfinity race, which didn't produce the best pack racing. So everybody was a little bit nervous, wondering if we would get something like that, or if we would get something like we did in the spring Atlanta race. And that is what we ended up getting: multiple lanes, side-by-side, super speedway style racing. That is what we got today. So I was very happy to see that, and it looked like it was a little bit hard to pass, but you could get drafting help and stuff like that. So it's what we expected today, which is good. Christopher Bell ended up losing a tire on pit road, which might not be a fine in suspension, because it did happen on pit road, and the car was like 1 or 2 pit stalls away after it left before the tire did come off. So it might not be a suspension for the crew chief and the tire changer and the tire carrier and all that stuff, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to NASCAR will have to decide whether that was a penalty or not. There was an accident in stage 3 involving Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Ty Dillon, Tyler Reddick, and Garrett Smithley. And at this point, now I'm going to go back to the other incident earlier in the race. So Ross Chastain got himself into more trouble today, if he hasn't already gotten himself in a lot of trouble. So he got into Martin Truex Jr. in stage 1, I believe, or stage 2. It was stage 2, sorry. He got into Martin Truex Jr. in stage 2, ended up spinning him around. That one I could argue and defend Chastain a little bit, because Truex was already sideways, and then Chastain kind of hit him once he was kind of loose. That collected Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, several other drivers. Austin Dillon had a really hard hit into the outside wall, so glad to see that he was all right. But that was only the first strike for Ross Chastain today. And if you guys don't remember, him and Truex got into it at Dover a few weeks ago when they were fighting for like 3rd or 4th place on the final lap. Chastain threw a block on Truex. Truex ended up wrecking. And then this happens again today, so that's the second time they've gotten into it. And then Ross Chastain gets into Denny Hamlin once again as well during this race. So he gets into incidences with both JGR drivers he already had issues with today. The second incident versus Denny Hamlin was, I can't defend that one. That was just a way too over aggressive move for Ross Chastain. Ended up spinning Denny Hamlin, pretty much putting him back in traffic and costing him a chance at winning the race. Ross Chastain still being aggressive after he said that he would try to calm down a little bit, and that is not the case. So Ross Chastain's just fueling the fire a little bit more for those JGR cars. They might do what Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott did at Gateway. They might do that at Martinsville in the fall when it really matters. So, Ross Chastain still being aggressive, and it might cost him later. But anyways, Corey LaJoie made his way up to the front of the field, kind of like you alluded to earlier. It was mainly him, Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., the main three that were fighting for the lead in the final 40, 50 laps of the race. There were a few more cautions scattered out throughout here and there. I believe there are at least 2 restarts where Corey LaJoie and Martin Truex Jr. were on the front row. And then there was a restart with 3 laps to go, which would be the final restart. Corey LaJoie and Martin Truex Jr. were side by side. LaJoie chose the bottom, surprisingly. Truex chose the top. Chastain chose the bottom behind LaJoie, I believe. And Chase Elliott chose behind Martin Truex Jr. They get going, they're pushing, they're shoving, everybody's trying to jostle for position. Chase Elliott gets his way to the lead, coming to the white flag. And then going into turn 1, Corey LaJoie tries to make a move to the outside. Chase Elliott goes up to block it. They make contact. Corey LaJoie goes into the wall. He spins, collects several drivers involved in that accident. The caution will come out, and Chase Elliott would become the winner of this race at Atlanta Superspeedway. So I already gave my thought about the whole Ross Chastain incident. As for the finish of this race with Chase Elliott, and obviously the contact and the controversy with Corey LaJoie and everything like that, was it a quote-unquote bad block? Yes, it was a bad block. It sparked a wreck and got a lot of cars involved. Yes, it was a quote-unquote bad block, but you're on the last lap trying to win a super speedway race. Chase Elliott is in his home state. That pressure adds up even more for him to win at this track. So he threw a bad block, yes, I will admit, as a Chase Elliott fan. I'm sure you're loving this, Matthew, but he did throw a bad block, yes. It sparked an accident. He won the race. Look at the Daytona 500. Austin Cindric put his teammate Ryan Blaney in the wall, coming to the checkered flag. He came down and put Bubba Wallace in the grass, coming to the checkered flag. It's the final lap of a super speedway race. What are you going to do? Just let Corey LaJoie pass you if you're the leader? No, you're not. So it's the end of a super speedway race. That's what I'm going to say. But yeah, let me go over the top 10 really quickly, and then Matthew, you can give your thoughts, then I'll come back to the top 10. So Matthew, go ahead and give your thoughts about this race today.
Alright, so it's my turn now, and I'm ready to unleash on everything that you just said. Even though I am surprised about that last lap comment, I gotta hand it to you. That's I
told you
that.
this in a group text. I told you in a group text that it was a bad block. I don't know why this is surprising.
Well, I was too busy.
I don't know, but
destroying my house over here after the finish. Anyways,
I didn't know you were such a big Corey LaJoie fan. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll get you a Corey LaJoie shirt for Christmas or something. But go ahead.
Anyways, the racing itself was great. Which was good because after the absolute garbage that we received in the Xfinity Series yesterday, I was really concerned that this race was not going to be good. I was like, maybe they should consider moving this race to the nighttime. But the racing was good, and that was good. And also congratulations to Parker Kligerman. I love that truck race in Mid-Ohio because. It was surprising that he and Kligerman and Zane Smith can actually produce clean racing in the truck series. I mean, they didn't have to run each other out of the way. They didn't have to spin each other out for the win. They just went out hard racing like there were a couple of veterans, even though Parker Kligerman is a veteran, but Zane Smith is still a young driver. So I got to give props to that because we don't see a lot of that in the lower series these days. So amazing racing there. So My first topic I want to talk about is the whole Ross Chastain thing. Ross Chastain, as much as I like him, as much as I love Trackhouse racing in general because of how amazing they have been their second year and how Ross Chastain has pretty much put himself up there as one of the top stars right now. The problem is he's still really, really bad when it comes to being patient and wrecking people. That's the problem. He's got that Ty Gibbs, Noah Gragson syndrome when they basically have no patience and just wreck people or just move people out of the way, like early on in the race. And we saw that with Martin Truex Jr. today, which thankfully he was able to recover from that and still finish well. And then Denny Hamlin again. And this time it took Hamlin out of the race. And we all know what happened at Gateway with those two. That was like the most pettiest thing I've ever seen on a racetrack. Where it was good. It wasn't dirty or anything what Hamlin was doing, but that was so petty of him. But it was so funny to watch because at least it wasn't wrecking him but dumping. He was just holding him up. But I was expecting a fight after this race because I thought Hamlin had had enough with him, but he was calm, and I think it was really, really wait till the playoffs till he just sends his car into turn one in Martinsville, Matt Kenseth style. I think that's what he's waiting for. And the more
If you thought that Harvick and Elliott was bad last year, just wait, because I'm sure this is going to be a whole lot worse than what happened last year between Harvick and Elliott.
Especially if Ross Chastain continues to have more of these incidents. I mean, just wait until he does something with Kyle Busch, and there's gonna be no talk. There's gonna be no talking between those two. There's just gonna be a fist in your face. Just ask Joe Logano, or try that with Kevin Harvick. We all know how Harvick is when he's mad. So, Ross Chastain just needs to be careful. And I know he doesn't want to change anything because that's how he's been having success this year. He's been winning races. I mean, he just won his first 2 races of his career this season, the way he drives. But he's got to find a perfect balance between when being aggressive and when being patient, because the only thing he knows how to do is be aggressive. So I'm hoping he learns that before the playoffs, but he probably won't, and I won't be surprised if he gets knocked out before the championship 4 because Denny Hamlin have already taken him out. So we'll see how that goes in the future. Alright, so let's get to our second topic, that whole last lap thing with Corey LaJoie. I feel so bad for Corey LaJoie. He was having a career day. It wasn't like he was getting lucky or anything, just magically he was up front. I mean, he was up front like the second half of the race, and then he was out there leading laps. I mean, this was impressive by Corey LaJoie. And man, that last lap, he had everything going right for him. He had the right push. He had the right open look. And then all of a sudden, Chase Elliott puts him in the wall. And next you know, big wreck happens. I feel so bad for Corey LaJoie there. And the whole thing, I just find it funny was, this reminded me of the whole Larson deal when he made a bad block at Elliott for the lead and put him in the wall. And then after the race, the Don Seville pool room tweeted out, "Hey, I guess you got to wreck someone to win." How ironic. He basically put a bad block for the win. So I just find that really ironic by those fools down there. And here's another thing. And by the way, congratulations, Chase Elliott. He had the best car today. I'll just say that. He had the best car today.
Whoa. Matthew saying congratulations for a Chase Elliott win?
Well, I'm talking about the driver himself. As for those fans, I'll get to that right now. So, here's the big issue that I had the whole day that was really driving me crazy. I'm sure it was driving everyone else who wasn't an Elliott fan crazy, or Hendrick fan, depending on the person. I mean, every 50 seconds, it seems like they were talking about, "Hey, did you know Chase Elliott was in Dawsonville, Georgia? I did not know that. Let's go to everywhere and see where Chase Elliott's from." Well, all the pool, cool. Mazepin with his first win, cool. Like, it gets so old when you're doing this every minute, it seems like. Like, can you give it a rest? Like, you don't see this type of energy when they go to Las Vegas and the Bush brothers are in town, or in Watkins Glen when Martin Truex Jr. is nearby his hometown, New Jersey, or Dover, either one of those two. Or, heck, I'll even throw a Kyle Larson in California. I mean, they literally talk about... I feel like I learned more about Dawsonville today than I do my own hometown here. And I did not need to know that. I mean, we get it. I mean, if it's if it's the driver's hometown, cool, you can talk about it. But when you talk about it every minute, every 5 minutes, it seems like it starts to get worn out. It starts to get old, and it starts. Other NASCAR fans like, hey, the media only really cares about Chase Elliott more than anyone else, which is kind of true. I mean, I think that is a problem that NASCAR does have, is a diversity of fans with drivers, because it seems like most of the time they just see, hey, he's got the last name. Oh, he's in a Hendrick car. Let's just root for him. So unoriginal. Meanwhile, we got drivers who basically had to work their tails off, work their butts off to try to get to where they are, like Martin Truex Jr., like Christopher Bell, like Ross Chastain, even though he's not really helping himself right now. Daniel Suarez, for example. I mean, I feel like those guys deserve as much of those fans as he does, because they've had just as much success as have as much success as Chase Elliott, or even more success than him. But it's just pure biasm, basically. So that's all. I mean, that's just my problem. It's just the oversaturation of media attention towards Chase Elliott just gets so old. Like, they're acting like he's the only Cup driver in the field, basically. There's like 35 other drivers in the field. I understand, if you're talented, you're going to have fans. Chase Elliott definitely deserves fans because he is talented. But to the rate that he has, I mean, Kyle Larson has had more success than him in a year. And, I mean, I feel like their fan bases are kind of getting up there with Chase Elliott, but not that close. So that's just my problem, my opinion. But other than that, Chase Elliott was really good today. He had the best car, and he won in his hometown. Congratulations. Hopefully they stop talking about it now, like how they don't stop talking about Kyle Busch not winning a Daytona 500. So please, take a break, USA or NBC.
I will somewhat agree with you about the over media population of Chase Elliott. I will somewhat agree with you about that. It was a little bit over dramatic how many times they put the camera in the Dawsonville pool room today and they showed it. I still like the fact that they did it, because like NBC last week at Road America, they had Rutledge Wood in like Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, not at the track, but like in the town, showing stuff about it. That I did like. So if they keep doing that throughout the season, I'll like it. And if they go to like a track where there's a driver from, like if they go to Richmond and they show like Denny's hometown in Chesterfield or something, like I'll like that. Like I just want them to keep doing it throughout the rest of the season. Now Fox is a different story because they didn't do any of that stuff that I just mentioned. They just said, oh, Chase Elliott's hometown, blah blah blah. But where NBC is going with it, I like it because they're actually showing the hometown and all that stuff. Yes, they did get a little carried away, in my opinion, showing how many times they showed the pool room probably like 5 or 6 times the fans inside there. But I did like what they did after the race too, though. Like when them blowing the horn and everything, I did like that. A, as a Chase Elliott fan, and B, for the broadcast perspective. For 2 different perspectives, I liked it. Anyways, yeah, hopefully they do that throughout the rest of the season. I love that part of the NBC broadcast. Anyways, so I'm going to go over the top 10 with you guys, then we'll rate this race, and then we'll get out of here. So Chase Elliott finishes first, Ross Chastain second, Austin Cindric bounced back to finish third, Eric Jones fourth, Ryan Blaney finishes fifth, Daniel Suarez sixth, Justin Haley seventh. Great run for Justin Haley. He was kind of in the top 10, 15 all day, so great to see that get a good finish. Yep, great run for College Racing there. Eric Almirola finished 8th. Cole Custer, Mr. Nobody, finishes in the top 10.
Whoa. So, he is a Cup Series winner now. Let's be chill here.
A Cup Series... Don't... You're the guy that brought this whole thing up about Cole Custer, not me. I'm just bouncing off what you've said. But anyways, Harrison Burton finishes out the top 10.
Hey, Harrison Burton finished 10?
Yep.
Wow.
He finished 10.
Impressive. I love that Freightliner scheme, too, that he raced. That's one of my all-time favorite schemes right now. That scheme is amazing. Well, by the way, Jimmy has iRacing now, so he should try that scheme now.
Yep, I do have iRacing, and I have been messing around with it just a little bit, so hopefully we can do that more and, customize some paint schemes and all that fun stuff. But anyways, let's go ahead and rate this race and get out of here. So for me, I think I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10, We got what we wanted with the super speedway style racing today. It was a little bit questionable going into it. We did get what we want. There were a few crashes in between. There was some drama. A late race restart. Say less. So I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Matthew, what are you going to rate the race?
I'll actually give it a 9 out of 10. I think it was almost everything I wanted in there. Drama, amazing racing, passing. I guess the only thing that makes it for not going perfect is like my rant earlier with all that Dawsonville attention constantly. That kind of just drawn the race out like, okay, that's enough, we get it. But other than that, the racing was amazing. So I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
All right, so for fantasy today, for both of us, it wasn't the best day today. You ended up getting 144 points. I got 169 points, which I believe puts me back in the lead by 13 points. I don't have the official number yet, but that's what it should be. So yeah, I took the lead back. You took it for a few weeks. I took it right back. It's still tight. I'm impressed with how close it's been all season. So it's going to be a lot of fun as we go into next week. Where are we racing next week? I don't even know.
New Hampshire.
I don't even know.
New Hampshire.
Yeah, okay. I was right. So, yep. So we'll be in New Hampshire next week. But Matthew, before we wrap this episode up, do you have any other closing thoughts?
I'm trying to think. I pretty much said my two-piece about it. Yeah, Chase Elliott did an amazing race. Congrats to him. And by the way, I still don't like his fan base, so that's all. Except for you, Jimmy, of course.
I was about to say, except for me, because, I'm I don't even know what, humble person, Chase Elliott fan? I don't know.
Hey, that's a rare breed.
I can't describe it.
You're part of a rare breed out there. You're like shiny, rare Pokemon out there.
I appreciate that. Maybe I'll just call myself a shiny Pokemon now. But
okay, anyways, don't get too carried away there.
All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up. As you guys can tell, we love having fun. We love joking with each other, all that fun stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Joking around. He just likes being petty around me. Like Richard Petty out here.
Nah, that's you and you know it. But anyways, you guys don't see what's going on behind the scenes with our texts and our chat and everything. But anyways, we hope you guys did enjoy this video. Make sure you guys stay tuned to our social media pages for updates and all that stuff. But until next time, we will see you guys in our next video.